Yes, they've announced it, they've called it. Israel have won.
With 317 points, Israel wins with 529.
Netta from Israel. She was the early favourite, then she slipped down and people kind of forgot about her. But on the night, she lifted the roof of the Altice Stadium.
I'm not your toy, not your toy. I don't care about your step, baby. About to regret. I'm not your toy. You stupid boy. Everybody! We won the Eurovision! And when I say we, I mean Israel. I didn't help it at all, but I did nothing to interfere, and that's the important thing. Now, I know the Eurovision means nothing to a lot of you, so I'm here to explain what the Eurovision is. So the Eurovision is an annual competition of European songs. It's changed a lot throughout the years. When I was growing up, it was more of a folklore kind of evening where every country brought their own language and culture into the Eurovision. Now it's a little different and every country can sing in English, because the problem with the old version was that UK and Ireland won most of the time because English is a much easier language to digest and most people across Europe speak at least some English. Now, even if you haven't heard of the Eurovision, I'm sure you've heard of a few of the winners. For example, ABBA. You may know this young Swiss artist who competed for Switzerland back in the day before she became huge when Titanic came out. And of course, Dana International. So I'm sure most of you don't know who that last person was, but that is Dana International. She was the first transgender to win the Eurovision contest, and the last time that Israel won back in 1998. And her previous name before she did the sex change operation is Yaron. Like my name? Really? You don't have to clap? Now, before I tell you a little bit about Netta Barzilai, the person who won the Eurovision, I want to tell you a little anecdote about what happened in this year's competition. Now, the Eurovision is seen many places throughout the world that aren't in Europe, for example in China, and so the Chinese network bought the rights for the show this year. However, the Chinese wanted to censor the Irish song because it had LGBTQ symbols and specifically two male dancers that were holding hands, and so they decided not to show that song. It's important to emphasize that homosexuality isn't illegal in China. It is, however, heavily stigmatized. In addition, the Chinese wanted to censor the Albanian song because the performer had some tattoos, and in Chinese TV, you're not allowed to have tattoos on national television. In response, the European Broadcasting Union, or the EBU, decided to terminate its contract with Chinese TV, stating it was not in line with the EBU's values of universality and inclusivity and our proud tradition of celebrating diversity through music. Anyway, back to Israel winning. And so I know what you're thinking. Israel is not part of Europe, and you're right. But neither is Australia. Haha.
Portugal in May? Yeah, I think I can make that work. Thanks guys, I can't wait. What am I gonna wear?
Now, just a little bit about the winner, Netta. She's actually a national sweetheart in Israel because she fights for being different. She talks about how growing up she was told that she shouldn't draw too much attention because she's overweight, so she shouldn't have a big personality, and how they told her that she should wear black so she'd look thinner. She actually tells a story about one time where she was supposed to perform at a wedding, and she heard the bride and the bridesmaids talking, and they said, can we get another singer? Maybe someone who's a little prettier. She carries out a message that it's okay to be different, and she carries her truth, and people in Israel love her for it. If nothing else from this victory, I hope that that message resonates. I'll leave a link to Netta's song Toy in the description box, so I hope you get a chance to watch that. Thank you for watching. I'll be back later in the week with some comedy.
I'm so happy! Thank you so much for choosing different. Thank you so much for accepting differences between us. Thank you